What's happening, everybody, and welcome back to Streamcast, a show on the internet where we watch the latest and greatest stuff on streaming services with you guys. I'm one of your hosts, Eddie, along with my bro, the zombie himself, Sheps. You're looking pretty dead today.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
gonna do me like that.
Full-on insult. Well, unfortunately, you guys don't know, Sarah isn't here today, who does our makeup.
Our makeup girl,
and
yeah.
I'm obviously looking amazing as ever, but Sheps...
But you've been doing your makeup since you were like 6.
Exactly.
So.
I was like, Mommy, I want to be like you. No,
exactly.
This is so weird now. This got really weird, guys.
It's when you take a joke that far, innit? And just neither of us have any shame. So we just can't stop ourselves.
Have to keep going. Guys, today we are going to be talking about the next episode of What If? Episode 5, What If Zombies. How did you feel about this episode, bro?
Going into it, I was really excited.
Yeah? This was the episode everyone was talking about. They're like, when's the zombie episode?
I think this should have been a 2-part.
Oh, yeah?
And I feel very much like the first episode with this.
Okay.
Which is, I really wanted to enjoy it. There was a lot of really interesting, good stuff in there, and I liked what they did with how things became zombies and why everyone could be zombified and stuff. Also, Hank Pym, always the bad guy, it turns out.
Always.
What the hell?
Why does everyone hate Hank Pym? Why are they trying to make him the bad guy?
Hank's awesome as well.
What's this, like, propaganda?
But I thought it was really, really rushed.
Yeah.
It felt like it randomly just jumped between stuff. None of the fights and deaths or anything had any, like, real significance to them. Which is a shame, because I feel like if this was a part 1 and part 2, that this might well have been one of the best things and one of the better just animated movie type things. It could have been really, really good, and instead it's not that it was bad, but it just wasn't good. That's how I felt.
It wasn't. I'm right there with you, especially when it comes to. So, like, I'm a big fan of the WandaVision. I actually think that's the best one that came out. I really liked that.
I loved WandaVision.
And now that we had that such great bond and relationship and how it ended with Wanda and Vision, in this one I was like, oh, they're gonna like touch on that a little bit, but it was such a light touch and then breezed past so quickly it meant nothing.
Especially like Vision is like kind of this quasi evil guy.
Yeah. And
then he's like, oh, I can't leave her. Guess I'll just KMS.
Right. The guy just went.
That's it.
Alright.
I'm just gonna opt out real quick. Have fun being the zombies. You got the cure. Great. I'm opt out. Laters.
He's like, I have to atone for my sins. How about you redeem yourself, and then afterwards you can do whatever the fuck. Right. Maybe you could help us out, get this cure done, or something like that.
And then feel like a zombie repelling, functionally Superman might be useful.
No, couldn't imagine that. I do hate, though, because like everyone was really excited for this for one reason.
Yeah.
The one picture, and it's behind Sheps right there. Everyone's like, oh my god.
Oh my god.
Woo! Captain America as a zombie. Everyone just starts simping on Cap.
Heated. I gotta be honest. So like, I loved his intro. I actually thought when he introed, I was like, oh, I think I know who this is. And this is where this episode gets good. And it didn't. No. And he was in it for 12 seconds.
I really liked how the Avengers fell as well, and I was like, oh, this is so interesting. Where's it going to go? And like you said, didn't go anywhere.
Yeah. Really frustrating that.
There was one thing that I liked about this whole episode.
Yeah.
Scott Lang's comedy was chef's kiss. Perfect on every level.
Dad joke puns and
they were just all great. Every time he made a joke, I'm
let's get a bite to eat. Stuff like that.
It's like, I know I've lost weight, but don't worry, I won't let it go to my head.
The thing is that it's multiple dad jokes wrapped into one.
Yes. I've lost weight because he's only a head. He hasn't even got a body anymore, so he would weigh less.
And I won't let it go to my head. It's all of him. All he is that. It works on so many levels.
Oh my god,
it's so good.
So great.
That actually was one of the best things in it.
Yeah. Everything else though was a bit rushed, like you said. I felt like all of the episodes have had an element of rush to it, but this one took the cake. This one
was by far the worst. And some of the things I loved about it, like we started off in a story that we knew, basically Banner returning from space to warn everybody that Thanos is coming. And then it takes its own story in a whole new when that's some of our favorite episodes did that, where it's like a story you've never seen before, and that's good. That's what we wanted to see from What If. Except that nothing really had any depth to it. I didn't really care when I saw any of the zombies, except Cap, who I was like, wow, a zombie, but it's a super soldier zombie. Like, that's potentially more dangerous on this train than, because everybody can use their powers.
That was an interesting take, how everyone still was their respective hero, except they're now a zombie.
Right.
So it's like Iron Man was doing Iron Man shit.
Right.
Even Doctor Strange was doing Doctor Strange shit, but just a zombie.
And I just, I think it frustrates me that I didn't care about Happy, for example. Like, Happy I love in the Iron Man movies. In 3, he's the highlight. He's the best bit in the movie, right? And he's a great character, and he's great in what little scenes he has with Spider-Man and stuff in the movies. And in this, is just, I didn't even recognize him for one.
Yeah. Until
it was like the very last scene. I'm like, oh, it's Happy.
Yeah.
And because I must have missed them calling him out. I don't have the subtitles on. I should probably do that. But it just, I don't know, it was rushed, and it was such a letdown, because if it had been a part 2, and if they'd gone, yeah, that's right, we can take these things a little bit more seriously, this could have been one of the better Marvel installations. Like, Into the Spider-Verse is one of the best Spider-Man movies. Yeah. Right? And it doesn't matter that it's animated, and this could have been just one of the better Marvel things that was out there. Yeah. And it wouldn't matter that it was animated, but I don't know, I'm really disappointed. I'm so disappointed by the Cap stuff. Yeah. The thing that I'm most disappointed in is that now we've stained the good name of the Dora Milaje, because everything they were in previously, 10 out of 10, fantastic. Yeah. And now you put this in there, and that's something I can't forgive Marvel. I mean, it's true. They are just... Oh, anyway, guys, before we get into talking about What If and breaking down how this episode went, we have one special group of people to thank. Who are these? What group of people are they? Well, much like this episode disappointed all of us, these people disappoint us. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Great letdown from your two fathers. That's right. Your dads are we're not angry. We're just disappointed. And those people are the incredible Super Bros over on patreon.com/conversations. Who do we have to thank? Have Diogo Dildo, Isak the Ultimate Cum Song, Carol to Riviere, aka Casper the Friendly Patron, Record Friction, Jeremy Renner, that's right, an official Avenger, and Zombie, Martin Scorsese's Master H. Butts 12, the Super Sus Ben Fryer, the Star Wars Encyclopedia, Adam Sunling, who's also a simp of Chrissy Christanza, the filthy FIFA fanatic Joe McCormack, the super sexy producer Sean, and Kevin, the #1 simp. Oh, that was shit. Ah, you ruined it. Just cut that. Reset. No one's going to know. We'll never know. We'll just cut that bit out, put a bit of silence here. Yeah. People like, we'll just cut the silence. It'll just be us talking. They won't know what's happening. Yeah. Exactly. Of Xbox. Thank you guys so much for keeping the lights and mics on and the streaming services going here, Streamcast. I won't even mention it. I was going to mention it here that we are going to be doing the streaming the State of Play thing today, but it's going to it's going to pop today, and then they'll only have like an hour or two to notice. Right. So don't even bother mentioning it on Don't even bother mentioning heading over to twitch.tv/conversations where we do a lot of cool streams, where I'm currently playing Halo, where Sheps is always playing Ghost of Tsushima, and we'll be doing the... We'll be playing... You're not wrong, but wow. I can't believe he came after me like that. Shep's not really a fan of that game. Not really a fan, but he stuck with it. I don't mention it often. Sorry, I just put my phone on airplane right there. Okay, guys, let's begin with What If Episode 5, What If Zombies? Gaming. Do you watch the intro again, even though it's the same? I let it play. Yeah. But I'm not like watching it. Right. I do let it play. I watch it just because I do like his voice. The watcher, yeah. It's just like space. Time. And I'm like, oh, this is good. I like it. I will say that every time he says space, I expect someone to say the final frontier. Going where no one's gone before. Like, no! No flashbacks, no. Okay, so what if zombies? We begin with Bruce being flown through space with the Rainbow Bridge. What's that called again? Oh, God. Bifrost.
Bifrost,
Yeah.
that Heimdall conjured on the ship with Thor and that lot. He's being sent the same way as in Avengers Endgame, where
Exactly the same.
Exactly, sent to the Sanctum de Scrotum in New York.
Sanctimonious Scrotum.
Sanctimonious Scrotum.
That's right.
To warn everyone of the attack of Thanos.
Also, in all of New York, that's where Heimdall sent him.
Avengers Tower.
Right.
What was the name of the fire department that saved the people on 9/11?
NYPD.
NYPD.
NYFD.
FD.
The New York Fire Department.
The New York Fire Department. Yeah, any of those places would have been fine.
Right.
But anyway, he sends him there, and he does the same thing. He's like, Thanos is coming, but there's no one there.
Guys.
Cape in the background, just watching.
I didn't see that.
He's just
the cape.
He's like up in the corner somewhere, and over his shoulder, over his cape, he's like, all you see is a cape flying.
I will go and rewatch that because I wondered how Cape found him.
Yeah. I think that the cape was the new Sorcerer Supreme and was guarding the sanctum. It was like, I've taken on the responsibility.
Guarding the scrotum, yeah?
Guarding the scrotum.
Yeah.
He put on the time stone himself and he's protecting it all. Anyway, he's there and he goes outside and it's a fucking ghost town.
Yeah, it's freaking weird.
Yeah.
He's like pulled back to The Last of Us.
Exactly. Great time to be in. And he's walking out. He's like, guys, looking around, and out of nowhere, light comes from the sky, and the two dudes who I don't know the names of,
Wizard guy and big dude.
Wizard guy and big dude with the big hammer thing, come down. Everyone knows those guys, and they begin to give their speech. Rejoice as you are being you're
killed by
the
Thanos.
children of Thanos.
Yeah.
It's like by the grace of the good Thanos.
But also, now that I know that they're mercenaries,
Yeah.
I don't get why they're giving the big sanctimonious speech. They're like, oh, rejoice for this propaganda we're saving. Like, you're a mercenary, bruv. Why are you giving the party line?
Just start murking, you know?
No.
And halfway through his speech, behind him, one of the Doctor Strange portals opens up, and then
It's sick. You're like, oh, sick. Obviously, some of the Avengers have survived, and they're coming to rescue Banner.
Yeah.
Sick.
Starts murking left, right, and center. You got Doctor Strange, and I'm guessing one we can't really see because it's all misty right there. Yeah. You've got Iron Man as well with his repulsors. Pew, 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 they're destroying them.
It's sick.
Clouds
Lots
all
of
picked up.
smoke and dust and stuff.
Banner's like, yeah, you guys are done now. The Avengers are here. Woo, Iron Man. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right. That's right.
All right, guys. Okay, it's a little overkill.
It's a bit much.
Bit much, guys.
You can starve it.
And all you see is like one of them's got like one of the
arm,
guy's
yeah.
arm biting it like a chicken piece, and then Iron Man turns around. Zombie face.
Yeah.
Oh dear God, what's happening?
It's a good thing he lost the mask, because otherwise it'd just be like, Tony, what are you doing? Tony, seriously.
It just looks like an Iron Man suit
It's
to
one
me.
super hungry zombie. 'Cause it's just on the inside of the mask.
Could you imagine if Iron Man turned into a zombie, but he didn't know as a zombie how to use the suit properly, and he's just stuck inside the suit? He's like, like going
Just
up
a
against
mask
bodies.
rubbing up against stuff.
This is in torture. Oh my God. Anyway, yeah, and he starts getting attacked by zombie Doctor Strange, zombie Wong, and zombie Iron Man.
And Hulk is got beat up by Thanos, so he's like, doesn't want to play at the minute.
Come on, man. He does the thing.
Could really use you.
No!
Yeah.
What do you mean, no?
But then like a swarm of bugs,
Locusts?
I didn't realize what it was at the beginning. I
didn't
thought it was
either.
just like, I don't know, lots of like shards of glass or bullets or something
Yeah.
just tearing shit up. And I'm like, I get that Banner ended up on the floor, but how did he survive that initial thing?
Yeah.
And then frickin' Wasp, and like, oh shit, those are ants. And they're like, what did they do? They turned the dudes to dust or something. They munched them real,
Yeah,
like in the Mummy.
It must have been. Yeah, it was exactly like
Yeah.
that because they disintegrate hell as fast. Like everyone starts getting eaten up. Even Iron Man starts getting eaten up. I think the Cape comes in to try and save them as well at this point as well during the fight. Chops off Wong's head by putting his head through a portal, and the portal closes.
that was
Quite cool. And the Cape is trying to pull Banner away, and one of the guys holding onto his leg, but Wasp comes in and just disintegrates the fuck out of them all, and it's nightmare fuel at one point.
In some aspects, very much nightmare fuel.
Yes.
Like you have the ants coming in and just eating everything, and then she makes a bunch like frickin' car-sized. And one just freaking munches ahead.
The disintegrating body thing reminded me of Indiana Jones.
Yeah, I feel
It
that.
was just like, oh no, it's happening again.
Only the penitent man may pass. Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, that happens, and then she realizes that, oh, it's Hope. Oh, this is great. Oh, you guys, I knew there must have been someone around here.
Right.
And they go, okay, we need to get to a safe location. Good old Spidey comes swinging in and saves Banner.
Right. I think the irony here that Banner's like experiencing the nightmare fuel of these giant ants and what they just did to Avengers, and then to be taken away by functionally a human-sized bug who he's never met before, doesn't know who this guy is.
Yeah.
Like that was I thought it was because he was kind of freaking out as well, which you would be.
It's like, who are you? It's like, I'm your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. It's like, there's nothing left of the neighborhood, bro.
Yeah. And also, is that supposed to make me feel good? Like, you're a spider man? That sounds like it's nightmare fuel.
It's okay. He said friendly at the beginning of it, so it's all fine. It's all good. It's all good there. Anyway, so then they go back to their hideout area and they give Banner the instructional video on how to survive in a zombie apocalypse.
So you've arrived in a zombie apocalypse. The 5 things you need to know. Stick around to the end and we'll give you one bonus tip. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Yeah, that shit, yeah.
Like, and Happy's in the video just like, why am I doing this?
Yeah, oh yeah, he's like, I'm a zombie.
Yeah. And they're like, wear long sleeves, always go for the head, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And it introduces to a couple of other characters as well. So Sharon Carter's there, and she's not the...
Shadow Broker.
Shadow Broker, that's it, the Shadow Broker.
I said it wrong again. It is actually the Power Broker.
She's not the Shadow Broker like I called at the beginning of Falcon and Winter Soldier. Don't worry about that.
By the way, are you going to play Mass Effect ever again?
Let's not talk about that.
So the Shadow Broker's in the MCU.
Yeah, the Shadow Broker is in the MCU. We know Hope is there. We know Happy is there.
Yep.
We know Bucky is there.
Bucky's
He's having
there.
a shower, and obviously that was the
Looks
perfect time to go.
incredible.
He looks fucking fantastic.
Too
bad Fing isn't there. Sarah isn't there.
True. I forget her name, but the lead of the Dormelage, she's there.
I have her name. Hold on a second. Okuye of the Dormelage.
Dormelage. Yeah, she's one, so the Dormelage.
Singular. Yeah, do that. And yeah, they're there to like basically keep themselves alive and try and figure out how they can stop all of this. But it's kind of
and they give the rundown of how everybody zombified, which actually this I really like.
Yes, it was a cool explanation.
This was really good, and it's basically like Hank and Hope trying to find Hope's mum, and they do go, they go micro, quantum, mega, small, whatever, and they find her, but some like quantum virus had infected her. She infects Hank. They come back, and like it gets out. By the time it's spread, the Avengers are sent to try and deal with it. And I actually loved how they got the Avengers. The very like micro Hank on the next. Ow, what's that?
Oh my mark 3. What the hell is that?
I love seeing just micro Hank. That was great. And then I think it's the watch saying, once the Avengers fell, the world's mightiest heroes, the planet stood no chance.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, this makes sense as to why anything can become zombified.
Yeah.
Because it's not a zombie virus, it's a quantum virus that's doing this. So it doesn't matter that it only matters that you're biological, apparently, right? And for whatever reason, they're retaining all their powers. So if you get the Avengers who want to eat your flesh, and also anyone they touch wants to eat your flesh, like you lose.
That's
you
some determination there, isn't it?
You lose the zombie apocalypse.
Exactly.
And then what happens? They say that they did detect something.
Yes, they detected a signal, but it was corrupted on its way, so they couldn't quite figure out where it was coming from or what the message was.
They couldn't figure out the message, but they know where it's from. It's from
It's
from Camp Hydra, Camp Lehigh.
Camp Hydra in Springfield, sunny Jersey. I don't know.
It's always sunny in New Jersey.
In New Jersey, it's in Philadelphia, something like that. Yeah, they go, we need to go to
old camp. Yeah.
Exactly, it's the original Shield base, which was where they went back to in Avengers Endgame, another Avengers Endgame location. Happy, not very excited about that. He's like, just when the world couldn't get any worse, we have a zombie apocalypse, and now we have to go to Jersey. And I was like, I don't know if Jersey's bad because I'm from the UK. So.
Yeah, like that joke was probably good, but it didn't land.
All the people in America are like, got him, and we're just like, we don't know.
Jersey. Oh, cool.
I don't know.
I have to be honest, I still didn't know I was happy at this point.
Really, I only knew it was happy because of the glove thing, and I was like, that belonged to Tony. Is that probably?
I just thought it was some fat guy that I was supposed to know maybe like a little thing, and he had one of those things. Because of course you're going to arm everybody in your survivor group.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, it makes sense. That's going to be easy to...
Could have easily been. I mean, Happy, not exactly a hero. He's
No,
just a
exactly.
guy.
But a fan favorite.
Yeah.
So...
And he put himself in his own movie, and that's how he's become in the MCU.
Well, he's a legend.
Leg end. He started the whole
An
MCU.
actual foot.
Exactly. Okay, so
They
the
go
next
to Grand
thing,
Central Station to get a train.
Yeah, so they get in the what do they get in? They get in a car
like
or something?
the
Oh,
Scooby.
they're in a car.
Mystery van,
Happy's
yeah.
driving because he's obviously an Uber driver,
Right.
as Okuye says.
We know this.
I'm a chauffeur driver. There's a difference, and they're driving really small. One of the zombies sees them, and they just blow up to their normal size, blast him to
that
pieces.
again, I found quite funny. He's like, ah, and then
Boom, like that.
I found that funny. It got me.
They get into Grand Central Station, and they go, okay, so we need to get to a train so we can get to this place. You and you go and hotwire the train, and we'll go search the other area. Spider-Man immediately like,
No. Have you ever seen any horror movies that don't split up?
and then she says, and I wrote it down quite nicely, she goes, we have no need for them. We have American reality TV shows. Boom! Another solid burn from the Dora Milaje right there. Solid
Milaje.
burn. Dora Milaje, sorry, my
That's right.
apologies.
That's in response to have you never seen any horror movies?
Yes, exactly.
We don't need horror movies. We have American reality TV.
And I'm like,
Far
yeah,
worse, far
Kim
scarier.
Kardashian show is pretty horrific.
That's right.
So right there. Anyway, so they go their separate ways.
They do split up, yes.
Immediately get fucked.
Yeah, it's spoiler alert, zombie movie. When you separate the group,
Shit goes down
it
and
does
you're
go down.
divided.
I will say, what was her name? Okuye?
Okay.
Is very smart because
Yeah.
she takes Bucky.
Oh yeah.
And as we know from horror movies, splitting up bad, and for some reason the black guy always dies first. So she's the black guy.
She takes the most
Bucky.
powerful person.
She takes Bucky. And I saw that. I'm like, she's a freaking genius. And I also love the genius writing because it makes sense for the Dora Milaje to take the White Wolf.
Yeah.
But really, she's like, I have been watching American horror movies, and so have we. So we'd like to thank our sponsor, Nordvpn. No, not really. I'm so sorry.
That was funny.
But I just it made sense for the group to be where it was.
Yeah.
But I also liked as a bit of like I don't like horror, but I've seen a bunch of them, and one of my favorites is the Cabin in the Woods, which is just a satire of it. But it's like boom, they separated. But who did she take? The one guy that you can 100% rely on in this situation.
To work it
Right,
all
she's
out.
like, we can separate. By the way, White Wolf, come with me.
Come with me. Everyone else can go their ways.
It's
I'm
not-
going to give you Sharon, a woman, and a
And
fat guy, Happy.
You get Happy and Sharon.
Good
Go,
stuff.
You go get them, Wasp.
Go get them, guys. They get immediately ambushed by Hawkeye and Falcon.
Yeah.
Woo, boy, that's a deadly
That's
mix right there.
Falcon and the Winter Zombie.
Exactly. I love that name. Love that name. Hawkeye pings Happy with one of those grappling hooks through his shoulder, and he's just like, ow. Vroom, gets pulled into the shadows.
Bam, 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 bam.
Same bound.
That's where I was like, oh, it's Happy.
There you go.
But I gotta be honest, and this is what bugs me about this episode, that was pretty hardcore, seeing him get shot with like the arrow and like harpooning him and dragging him away. So like, why was the rest of the episode not quite as serious as that? Because that's pretty hardcore.
Yeah.
Separate it into 2 episodes, have the character deaths like mean something, and we could have really been onto a winner here.
I wonder why they decided it's going to be every episode is 1 episode. That's it. Like, that's a decision you've made.
What if one installation was 2 episodes? It's fine.
It's fine. Yeah,
It's not a big deal. We would have been totally okay with it.
Anyway, they get taken out quite quickly. They do not work. It doesn't work out well. One point, Happy does come back to kill Sharon, and he uses his obviously repulsor thing that he's got in his hand. She turns around. She's like, sorry, Happy. Boom, blows his own head off.
Yeah.
But she's pinned down as well.
Hawkeye's there.
Hawkeye
arrowing at her.
Arrowing Sharon with his arrow.
As a zombie, being an archer is probably like...
Especially because, like, I mean, all right, you shot him. Yes, I got him. I'm still hungry.
Right. The whole horde of zombies already walking there.
God
no,
damn
it's
it.
my food.
Hey, I killed it. Get back. Anyway, they do that, and Falcon on the other side is fighting Bucky and Okuye, and they are...
Okuye freaking murks him.
Oh man, it's something. He's only got one arm, so it's quite funny to see him like fly, because I swear he has to use one of his arms to control it, but I guess not.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's flying around and he's just about to take the killing blow on Bucky, and Okuye from nowhere just jumps in the sky, spears down, chops him in half,
It's hardcore.
right in front of Bucky's face.
It was hardcore.
And immediately she realized what she did. She's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I killed your friend in front of you." And he's like, "I should be sad, but I'm not."
See, that's again one of those things where I'm like, I don't feel like that's a line Bucky would say. It took me out. That really took me out of it.
If it was a longer scene, you could be like, he was my friend, but this is like a situation we're in. I have to be
Or
okay
like,
about it.
He
But-
was my friend, but you kind of saved my life, so like, thanks.
Yeah.
Like, something.
Yeah, it's
Or like, if I was in your position, I would have done the same. Like, okay, cool. But instead, it's like, oh wait, he's just a sociopath. I don't know. Like, I really didn't feel connected to any of these characters except Pete.
The one thing as well that makes that worse is that this is technically before Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
So they're not as buddy as we know them now.
Right.
So they're like, they know each other,
They'd still
Work
be work
together.
acquaintances,
Yeah.
right?
but they're not the romantic lovers that they
we
would
know
that
from
we
the
know
show.
from Falcon and
Right,
Winter
right.
Soldier. Exactly.
But I'm just saying, like, we're not friends. We're like barely work acquaintances. But
Exactly.
if someone just bisected you, I'd be like, hey, man, that's really not okay.
what are we gonna do about videos now?
Right, exactly.
He's the
Do you
guy-
know anybody with talent?
He knows how to set up the tech.
I need a tech guy now. Come on. That was really a huge... I'm the victim here. That was a huge inconvenience.
Thank you, Jesus Christ. Yeah, so then they get on. They manage to get the
Pete
train.
slingshots it somehow.
Yeah, so they go, oh, the train's not working. You can't, like, the electrical part of it isn't working. We can't jumpstart. The way we need to do is we need to push it. Pete gets out, he webs it and pulls it up to like 4,000 tons of
yeah, it's a
thrust.
lot.
He says something
Pete's
like
freaking
that.
strong.
He's really strong. And he's like, all right, I've got enough tension on it now. Everyone get on the train. And just as he's saying that, there's zombies behind him,
Yeah.
about to bite his face. And who saves him?
I can't freaking
Is it the
remember
cape?
for the life of me. It is the cape.
It is the cape,
I want
yeah.
to say it's the cape. Yeah.
The cape comes in and starts fighting them off to protect him while he's holding the train. Everyone jumps on, and he
slingshots it basically.
they let
release
go of the
park and
brakes.
brake and yeah.
boom, and then the cape
jump
also saves him
starts,
from
yeah.
being a squash bug as well.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
And they get on the train and they
Yeah.
get going. They get going right there.
Then, what happens? They're sort of on their way.
Sharon's like looking out the back of the out of the
that's
back
right.
of the thing, and I think Spider-Man goes. Yeah, she's looking out the back, looking at the town, and as she's like walking forward, boom, boom, oh god, what the hell is that? And then a zombie comes right through the back door. Bucky goes
A
to
zombie
investigate
comes to her
what
back
that
door.
sounds. Comes in her back door.
Gosh.
It's disturbing to watch, but not impossible, you know. And Bucky hears what's going on and he goes to investigate. And after a bit of like munching from this zombie, he's like, I think you've had
really
enough,
wish
Cap.
you would rephrase a bunch of this stuff.
After a little bit of munching on Sharon's back door,
God.
Bucky
Bucky arrives.
says, I think you've had enough, Cap. I'm like, oh, this is going to be the moment. And he lifts up his head, and it's Captain America, but zombified. We're like, oh, let's see how this is going to go.
I kind of guess is not knowing by the entrance where he just blasts through the train roof. You're like, it's got to be somebody super strong. It's either T'Challa or Cap.
Mm.
It has pretty much, that's all we've got left.
Yeah.
And like, we saw the image of Cap, kind of looked like it was a train. It's got to be Cap.
Yeah.
And then it's just, it starts off okay. Bucky goes to shoot him. It's the Winter Soldier versus Cap again, except we're kind of on the Winter Soldier team. He blocks the bullets with the shields, and then they're kind of a really underwhelming fight.
He like pushes him back a bit, and then he Cap throws the shield. He grabs it, spins it round, and throws it back at Cap.
And cuts
Cut him in half, and then he falls off
And he
into
falls
the
off the
track.
train, and they say bye, Cap.
And that's that.
See you later, Steve. Kind of. It's
Very weird.
I could have
Very underwhelming.
I could have forgiven a lot of stuff in this for making that moment so good, really good. What an underwhelming use of Cap, because Stephen Strange is ultimately just a guy.
Yeah.
Iron Man is ultimately just a guy with some tech, and they were taken out instantly anyway. But what you have is a bunch of pretty much mortals, people with can't do magic on a train on a confined space with a zombie that's a super soldier, and not just a super soldier, but Captain America, the super soldier.
Yeah.
That has all of its powers and can presumably move at speed and stuff. this is going to be tough.
It was very
It should
underwhelming.
be tough, yeah.
Very underwhelming. Sharon does get up after she becomes zombified.
Yeah.
Tries to attack Bucky, but then he just sort of like pushes her out of the way with his like barnacle and whatnot.
Then she explodes.
Yeah, she goes towards Wasp.
Yeah.
And Wasp goes down really small into her mouth and basically into her stomach, and then goes big and explodes her all over the train. It's like, oh, I've got Sharon on me. Normally that's not bad, but that's that's the situation right there.
It's Sharon Goo.
It's Sharon Goo. And she turns round and Banner notices something.
Yeah, we've got a problem.
Hope, we've got a problem. Look at her shoulder. She's got a cut. Zombie movies have taught us everything.
Now, I will say that one thing.
She's a goner.
One thing, in this, if you're a zombie and you bite a dude, they instantly became a zombie. They became immediately, like, rotting
Seconds.
corpse. In seconds they were a rotting corpse.
Yeah.
And, like, I mean, fresh dude bit, rotting corpse, zombie.
Yeah.
Sharon's, like, up with the zombie cut direct into her bloodstream for, like, a couple of hours.
She's like,
presumably.
Her pulse is rising, her temperature's not going in the right direction.
Yeah.
It's like, it's like, you guys have to kill me now. And it's like, no, we're going to find the cure.
Yeah.
We're like minutes away from the cure. Normally people change in seconds, but don't worry.
Yeah.
It's like, we have hope. He delivers a heartfelt speech about like hope.
He was the
and
best
trusting
bit in
each
this,
other.
I gotta be honest. Yeah.
He really was great. But they get to a point where the train stops because it's run out of fuel.
Yeah, I didn't know that's how trains work.
I thought they were all on electric. Yeah.
So if it works,
maybe trains in America are vastly worse.
I mean, fuel prices are way lower there than here, so they just run it all on petrol, innit?
Just like, fuck it, gas all
Why
the way,
use
lads.
diesel? No, petrol.
What's cheaper? Coal. Let's do that. Let's go back to coal, lads. Let's go back to coal. Don't worry if it kills the world. Anyway, they go, okay, so we're close, but we're not that close.
Yeah.
It's like we need to, but there is one extra problem.
Close but no cigar in it.
We need to get across that.
Yeah.
They look out the window and it's just miles of zombies.
Yeah.
No way they're going to get through that. However, Hope has a plan. And he goes, we can't go through them, but we can go over them.
Yeah.
And she starts to get up.
Heroic
like,
sacrifice.
You're not in no condition. She goes, no, I started this, so I have to help you end
Also,
it.
I feel like, kinda, but not really.
Yeah.
Like, but no, not really.
It wasn't like you were like, I'm going to create a zombie virus.
Right.
And spread it.
Right. And or like the Doctor Strange episode where he's like specifically looking to mess with something. Like, I feel like, but kinda nah.
Yeah. You
don't deserve any blame for it.
Come on. Don't beat yourself up, like. Anyway, she decides that she's going to go super big and carry everyone over the zombies. She's going stomping on zombies, kicking them up in the air and stuff like that. But you can see as they get closer and closer to the base, climbing up her legs right there. So this isn't going to end well. But they do get to the source of the signal. And they pop her down over the fence. And she's like, oh, like, I have to die now. This is the end of my thing. The zombies overrun her. She falls back. And that's the end of that.
Yeah.
The guys get there and they're like,
why aren't they climbing the fence?
Why aren't they climbing the fence?
And they don't even need to climb the fence.
There's a opening in the fence, and they're stopping like right at the border. It's really strange.
That is weird. And then I don't know who this guy is. This is the one guy I legit don't know who he is at all.
Okay.
Didn't notice, but I think he's Russian or something. He's like,
Kurt from Ant-Man. He's one of. He's the guy with the Elvis-looking hair.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I didn't clock that. He's like, Baba Yaga's around.
The
witch. And I was like, Scarlet Witch.
We know now, we know.
I didn't.
And in the next second, we get Vision pops up, and he's like, oh, God, Vision's here. Oh,
so. The Vision.
The Vision, yeah, the Vision. That's the official name. And he tells everyone else, like, oh, you guys made it and stuff like that. If Vision's here, then we're all saved, because that means that he's the one that's been working out the cure.
And he's a good guy.
He's a good guy. We're done. The Vision's here to save us. So they take them all down into the bunker, and he explains what he's been doing.
Yeah.
That he's been the
Mind Stone emits a frequency that they don't like, so he's been amplifying it, but he doesn't have enough power, and he's been experimenting on a cure.
Yeah.
By the way, say hello to your good friend. Because that's all that's left.
Yeah.
Just the S.
Just the S. He can't put the whole thing anymore. He's not that much of a man anymore. He's like, oh, I've been using focus frequencies from my stone to try and come up with a cure. Have you had any success? Well, why don't you ask me? And turns him around and he's right there. He's like, oh, you ruined my entrance. I need to get this thing motorized. And it's Scott Lang in a jar, very Futurama style.
I was thinking the exact same thing.
And he's just a head in a jar. And he's like, oh, Scott, what happened to you? And he's like, I know what you guys are thinking. I've lost the weight. Don't worry, I won't let it go to my head. And I'm just in stitches at this point. I'm like...
This was...
Honestly,
hilarious.
Scott Lang is... While Ant-Man's a good movie. Ant-Man's alright.
it's not it's not the best.
Exactly. But him in anything is the best comedy.
He's hilarious. Paul Rudd's delivery is brilliant.
He's just
Scott
great.
Lang's character and the things that he says and the way that he makes it comedy. So, like, what I want to be very clear when we say, like, Ant-Man and Ant-Man 2 aren't the best movies.
Yeah.
It's that they're not going to compete with things like Ant-Man or Captain America, right? Not Ant-Man. Avengers,
yeah.
Like, or Endgame or Captain America as, like, incredible action pieces.
Mm-hmm.
But they're incredibly good.
Yeah.
That you just can't rank them. You got to say other movies are better, but they're so good, and the comedy in it, especially, I forget his Mexican friend's name, but his delivery of his story.
Pena. Michael Pena, that's it.
I like.
He's great.
I'm a big fan of him.
Great.
And his delivery, that character where he's telling the stories, kills me every time.
The guy, when they came up with that joke, I don't know who came up with it. I'm like, we're going to do it this way. It's in my voice.
Michael Pena deliver it.
And everyone's going to be emulating exactly what I say in the scenes, but it's actually my voice.
Right, like
Genius.
It's an Ocean's 11 or like Snatch or something. But it's Michael Pena telling him about his cousin's sister's girlfriend, who knows a guy who's in county who's dating this dude who's a...
I know this guy who's super, super rich and he's really famous, and then he goes to talk to my thing, and I was like, oh, God, this is great. This is just so great.
It's freaking brilliant.
Yeah.
Scott Lang's comedy, amazing.
Great,
and Paul Rudd's delivery of it, even better.
And they basically talk about it. They're like, okay, so I used the Mind Stone to cure Scott Lang. It's like, so we could do this to everyone. And he's like, theoretically. And it's like, all we need to do is get to a satellite that can emit the whole thing. And it's like, theoretically, yes, but humans haven't got the technology to be able to do something like that yet.
So here I'm thinking, lucky for us, alien invasion. Right? Now we beat Thanos, we take the ship, we save Earth.
Exactly.
That's the way this is going. This is going to be awesome.
However,
Bucky's like, well, we need to go to they're like, we need to go to some satellite station. I'll go look for some transport.
They go, we need to go to Wakanda because Wakanda has even better thing. And Bucky goes, don't worry, I'll go find us some transport. The Avengers, 2 seconds, going to sort this all out. Don't worry about it right here.
I will say, I feel like Vision should maybe have been a little bit firmer on the don't go that way.
Yeah, he's like, you won't find what you're looking for over there. And
and I'm like, okay, so like maybe all the cars are out of fuel? Although they're all on empty?
Bucky goes in, and it's like any horror movie in like a hospital ward.
Oh, yeah, it's all dingy and dirty, those plastic sheets.
Yeah, going around, he's got like a torch, he's looking around, he's sweeping the area, and then he sees a movement on one side, and he shoots at the glass without even like bothering to check what it is, and it's Wanda.
Yeah.
It's Wanda behind the glass, and all he hears is a voice from the other side of the room saying, don't do that, you'll anger her.
Yeah.
And it's Chadwick Boseman. It's T'Challa on a gurney with a leg missing.
That's right.
I'm guessing he does freeze now because he doesn't have a leg. You know, do you know about that?
Yes, yeah.
I don't freeze. I don't freeze. You do freeze.
I gotta say,
yes.
Again, a little bit angry. Not at this episode, but the previous one with What If T'Challa was Star-Lord. Because we get the T'Challa that we know. We get it voiced by Chadwick Boseman. And prior to this, we saw one where there was no failures, no, you know?
Yeah.
And just all the soul of his character taken out from that. And then we're seeing him right now. He's Black Panther in his prime, in a zombie apocalypse. And he was taken out by this super injustice. But he's still himself. He's still like worried about getting everyone out, and we need to leave. We can't stay here. Like, it's not safe. We have to get out, or we're all gonna die. Like, and he's not really worried about himself so much. It's like, we all need to leave. Yeah. Not like, you need to get me out of here, but like, we gotta go.
Can I shed some light on something that's possibly very, very sinister?
Okay.
His leg was missing. How do you think that happened?
Vision.
How do you think it happened? Like
he cut it off.
cut it off, and he's
and fed
cut
it to Wanda.
And he probably did the same thing to Scott Lang as well, that he was cutting off pieces bit by bit and keeping them alive in order to feed to Wanda.
Yeah, that's where he says that. Doesn't he say that?
He says he's feeding people to him, but he doesn't go into specifics.
Oh, right.
And I was like, did he lose his foot in like the fight before, or did he lose? And I was like, no.
Vision totally took it. Yeah.
He's cutting pieces off and feeding to Wanda, and I'm like, this is a proper horror movie.
I thought T'Challa told us that. Or
Maybe
Vision
he did.
admits
Maybe
it.
I've got that wrong then.
But I didn't clock it with the Lang thing, and that's the thing where maybe he kept him sedated and gave the rest to Wanda. I will say though, and this is where something doesn't make sense, because they basically say, "Look, you can cure Wanda," and he's like, "No, she's way too powerful. The thing has no effect on her. One, we're gonna power you up a bit to this thing, so maybe. But two, if you Superman and her a Superwoman, like, and I mean, think like." Kal-El and frickin' whatever her name is.
Oh, her cousin Kara. Yeah.
You need people to feed to her. If you don't save the world, no people.
I was gonna say, like, it's pretty much they're the last people now.
Right, she's got what, 7 meals? And then gone.
Surely, Vision, you can think a little bit further ahead to think, okay, actually, there is one thing. Doesn't he say that he's worked out a way to cure people, or do you reckon that was a lie?
No, I think he can cure people.
So then he probably has to just get one of the zombies, cure them, and then feed, and then one of them zombies cure them and feed.
Yeah, but then eventually you run out of zombies.
Eventually you would. It'd be a lot of people, but eventually you still would.
And we presume that Vision is definitely immortal.
Maybe he's just buying time. He's like, fuck it. Maybe I can figure something out. We'll just feed 7 billion people. Don't worry about it.
Right. Yeah, I got 7 billion meals prepped.
I got it.
We're good.
He basically gets found out. Everyone's like, what are you doing in here? It's like he's keeping his bride back there to feed us to, and that's what he's lured us here to. It's a trap.
I thought at this point, like, finally the episode's going to get good because there's the sinister reveal.
Yeah.
And he kind of starts looking sinister, and you're like, so yeah, it's a zombie apocalypse, but what happens when the one guy who's like an android robot thing can't get done, but he kind of falls in love with Wanda still? Like, this will be the bad guy, and even in a zombie apocalypse, it's like an Avenger, a villain that's the big deal.
Yep.
But then he just kind of simps out on Wanda and is like, oh no, let's all get out of here.
Oh no.
There's a Quinjet
over there.
Over here. Here's the keys. Oh, and like I need to atone, but I can't leave her, so I'm just gonna like frickin' here, take my head. I sucked so bad.
The series of events just didn't really add up, and it didn't seem like there was anything that warranted this kind of reaction.
It didn't make any sense. And like you, I also loved WandaVision. Yeah. I loved WandaVision. That's what makes so much.
So, there is something funny here. So when they finally find out what happens to Wanda and what's going on with this whole situation, they're like, so you're luring innocent people to feed her? And Scott Lang's just like, well, in Vision's defense, I've got nothing. Because there's no way you could do that. And he feels like a remorse for what he did, and it's like for the human race and what he's going on. And Okoye at that moment is like, well, then you have no problem submitting to human justice. Pulls out the spear.
It's still Vision,
but it's not Vision that stops. It's someone else.
Oh yeah. I mean, what I was going to say was like Okoye doing that. It's like, look, I get that the Dora Milaje have jurisdiction wherever they find themselves to be,
wherever.
But this is also Superman.
Exactly. A vibranium
powered vibranium android. I feel like maybe
it's like, okay, A for effort.
A for effort, but maybe like
poor plan, poor execution, everything else though.
But it isn't Vision that stops her.
Exactly.
And I think he says, and again, it's quite sinister. He's like, you've woken her. And it's Wanda.
She hasn't eaten for days. And Kurt's like, Baba Yaga! Oh my god! And he gets taken by the red light in the room right there. She comes out and starts wreaking havoc. But this is the moment that Vision decides, I'm gonna save everyone.
I guess everything I've done up to this point has been bad. And I don't like being bad, so hey, there's a Quinjet. Let's all go here. They go up the thing, and he like buries the thing on top of her.
They blast a hole. Everyone gets out, cuts a hole around the base, and it drops on top of her. It's like, I guess that will only just slow her down.
Base on stilts?
Yeah,
that's not how like foundations work.
It's just Vision. You need to. Anyway, that's what happened there. They go, there's a Quinjet in the hangar over there. You guys go. It's like, aren't you coming with us? We need your help. And he's like, no, I have to atone for my sins.
So I'm just going to kill myself, I guess, for reasons. Here you go.
Like, you could protect us. You could stall her for us. You could come with us to help be like a super-powered computer to help us work this out.
Yeah, it's the ultimate supercomputer.
A million things you could do. No.
And also, she's out. Like, you could keep her away from us so we can do this thing.
Right.
Given enough power plus your Infinity Stone, maybe there's enough power to get this to cure her. Like, nah, I'm just going to KMS.
Nope. And he's like, gives the stone to them so they can run away. Unfortunately, Okuye does get taken by Wanda at one point. She gets gobbled up by the red light. We don't see what happens.
Gonna be honest, if under different circumstances, I wouldn't mind watching Wanda gobble Okuye, but
Rule 34.
But
we're bad people.
we're terrible, and it's come out of nowhere. It's the first recording of the day, and we're just like this. What's the rest of it gonna look like? So Bucky decides that hey, I'm a guy that has a gun. I'll just stay and fight the Scarlet Witch.
Yes.
So I'll like shoot at her, and she's
strange plan.
Kind of sweet. Because she's like looking over Vision and stuff, and she's not interested in food. She hasn't eaten for days. She's a starving zombie, but she's more interested in Vision.
Yeah, it's very sweet at
which
that
is
moment.
touching.
Yeah.
And the bullets stop and stuff, and then of course she just deletes Bucky. Like, what are you thinking, you freaking idiot?
Exactly.
And Bruce is like opening the doors,
Yeah.
and is it Wanda or someone comes over and bites him?
I think it might have been Wanda. Yeah. Comes over to bite him, and Hulk luckily pushes back.
Yeah, it's not him, it's Hulk she bites, and so no damage.
Exactly, no damage. And then throws her away, and it's like, oh, good one there. You saved us there, boy.
Yeah, thanks, pal.
Go inside, and they go, look, you guys have to get away. Chadwick Boseman's at the wheel, and Spider-Man at the other side, and gives Spider-Man the Mind Stone. So you guys need to go away. I need to take care of this. I'm going to hold her off. What Vision should have done.
Yes.
And he turns into the Hulk to try and
he
take
runs
her
into
back.
zombies. The Hulk's still not coming out to play.
He's saying like, imagine if we were to be the good guys.
Yeah, imagine if you were the one getting all the praise. Like, come on, big guy, I really need your help. And then they're all dogpiling on him, and he throws them off. Now, I will say, and it's just bad timing, but recently I saw a deleted scene that I hadn't seen from Endgame.
Yes.
Where it's Banner and Hulk. Banner in the Hulkbuster suit.
I've seen that as well.
And it's all the footage that they recorded, but, no VFX.
Yeah.
And he's like, come on, big guy. Like, I really need you. Like, let's do this stuff, blah, blah. And it's how he becomes Intelligent Hulk, where they're arguing, no, I don't want to. Like, you hate me. I don't hate you. I love you. Like, you're the best part of me. Like, I need you.
Yeah.
And then he basically becomes Smart Hulk, and he's like, hey, we worked out. We worked out. And it's that scene where they're getting overrun.
Yeah.
But instead of it being he gets fucked in the suit, he ends up not being fucked.
Yeah.
And that would have been, by the way, a great way to intro Smart Hulk in. I'm sorry, that was actually Infinity War, not Endgame, but
Yeah,
it's the end of Infinity War.
End of Infinity War. Yeah, that's right.
But it was a great deleted scene. It would have been great to explain Smart Hulk, and I loved that scene. I thought they should have kept it. It was brilliant, and it bugged me that because we had kind of that same interaction here, because that's where he is with the Hulk at the minute, and I'm just like, oh man, if we'd have done the we worked it out thing, that would have been so cool. So I think that was just bad timing, but a lot of this episode just didn't feel good.
Yeah. They get off in the Quinjet. They get away.
Scott Lang's like, aha, we made it. No, why did you say it?
Don't say that. Don't say that.
Have you not watched any movies?
Zombie giant Hope comes out of nowhere and starts to fight. I think does Hulk save them?
No. Which I wish he would have. So she grabs the jet, but they like afterburner boost away, and then she like sulks and picks up a dude and throws him.
Throws it at the Quinjet, and I was like, is this gonna do something? Dunk. Just flies off, and I'm like, oh, that's hilarious.
Now, I will say this episode was incredibly funny at parts. Just not good.
Yes.
And it had so much in it that could have been good.
Yeah.
And it really bugged me. But other than that, like, it was okay.
And then the only thing that happens after that is they get flying away. They start looking at the time stones, like, we can maybe solve this problem. And then we cut to
New York,
where Thanos has arrived, and he is zombie Thanos, and he's missing only one stone.
That's right.
And he's got the Infinity Gauntlet. Cut.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is an interesting thing. I like to see what a zombie Thanos would do with the Infinity Gauntlet.
I gotta say,
ended there.
Well, just infinite supply of bread, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
I will say, this is how I
More
would have
food.
split. I would have split it into 2 parts at full length, and had part 1 end where they run out of fuel on the train after
Yeah.
a big fight with Cap.
Make it a bit more substantial.
Yeah, and part 2 end, how we did, but I would throw in Hulk leaving, so like Hulk just stays to fight, and it's like loose end. I would have him either like say attack Hope, or in the background, and maybe it was there, see him like jumping away or jumping to join the Quinjet or something like that.
Yeah.
And probably end it the same way on that question of like, shit, what happens if you get a zombie Thanos with all but one Infinity Stone?
I really want to see that version of what's
Right.
going on.
And I don't think that would have been too much to ask. I think people would have been happy to watch that length of What If with a zombie episode.
Bro, Zack Snyder's Justice League proved that people don't want to watch a long thing.
It's true.
Proof.
No one watched that, did they?
No one. It flopped
It was like
commercially.
4
It
hours
flopped
long, wasn't
everything. No one liked it.
No, it was
No.
really poorly regarded.
Exactly. Guys, that is our review of episode 5 of What
Yes.
If. Not the greatest one, in fact, the worst, I would say, of all the ones we've seen so far.
I would say, I feel you. I don't know. I would say it's the worst, but I feel like because it had so much potential and it let you down at every single turn except for the funny bits.
Yeah.
That I totally get why you would say that.
Yeah.
For me, I still want to say it's the Star-Lord one,
Yeah.
which again had some really good bits in it.
The only reason why I put this below the Star-Lord one is because while there wasn't character arc,
Yeah.
there wasn't growth, there wasn't anything, it was still an interesting story.
Yeah,
And
it was. It
I
was
liked to
a
add
story
fun.
that we hadn't tread before.
With this, the only thing that I really liked about it was the comedy.
Yeah,
And that's just because Paul Rudd is just such a
his
great
delivery's
comedian.
so good.
He's just such a great comedian.
And also Pete, who of course would know horror movies and would say like, no, don't split up. Have you not seen any horror? Like, it's all good. But
yeah. Anyway, guys,
What a
this
pity.
isn't just about us.
That's right.
This is an episode with you guys as well, where you guys get to write into our Discord server and on patreon.com/conversations. And we're going to read from our Discord server right now from Mr. 56. Yes.
Oh.
He got rid of the car. There you go, right there. He's done it there. Mr. 56 obviously loving to write things as he experiences it.
Yes.
So
Yeah, he
bear with
does,
us,
doesn't
right
he?
So it goes, logo still looks dope.
Yes, it
Wrong
does.
zombie equals best zombie.
Wong Zombie.
So
Bruv.
I put an R in there when there was no R. Wrong zombie equals best zombie. There we go.
Wong Zombie was sick.
He was quite cool. Imagine if insects survived. The Wasp, Spider-Man. That was what I thought was going to happen.
I thought they were angling for
I was
that.
like, Wasp, Spider-Man. There must
'Cause
be
this
like an
thing didn't-
insect thing.
This thing didn't seem to affect animals, which I think it probably should have, but it didn't affect any insects.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
Imagine if it did affect insects. Then it's like
Oh my days.
a fly comes and drops on you. In fact, you're a zombie.
Imagine
there.
mosquitoes being even bigger dicks.
Oh, even worse than they are
Right?
now. The Wasp, Spider-Man, Ant-Man, Black Widow, they had potential for a really cool team-up. I want Peter Parker to team up with Kirk in the main MCU. That could be amazing. A guy with just no powers and talks about Baba Yaga.
Right.
At first, I wasn't so sure about Spidey in the suit in this episode, but it's actually really cool. Why wasn't Happy wearing long sleeves? It was literally in the video that he helped them film.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Also, he could have had he would have definitely had access to Iron Man stuff. He's got the keys to Tony's house. Go and get some suits.
Get something, bro. Guess this wasn't the end of the. Guess this was the end of the line. That line hits hard. Uncle Ben existed in the MCU. Confirmed.
True.
Wasn't Camp Lehigh blown up in Winter Soldier? Was it? Was that Camp Lehigh?
Yeah. That's because Camp Lehigh is where Steve goes to train before he becomes Captain America. That's where the first SHIELD base is.
That's true.
Yeah, because that's why he's there, because SHIELD is doing the super soldier serum.
When they go back to it's Black Widow
Yeah.
and Cap, they go back there
Right.
and they drop the.
In fairness,
Yeah.
it might have been a different facility on the same base.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
don't think about it too much. It was a shit episode, so
Yeah, just fucking ignore
one
it.
more fuck up in it.
And Scott's just ahead, he says. Also, I freaking love the
This cracked me
Wingard.
up.
I
This
heard
cracked me
that
up.
as well. When he's flying out of the base with the cape around him, because now the cape's taken form
Yeah.
and he's got a headband. He's like, Wingardium Leviosa! And I'm like, ah!
It was good.
Scott, you're great. You're
It was
great, mate. I used to be a huge Harry Potter nerd. What do you mean you used to be? You are a nerd.
I know all the lines from the films. You mean the books?
Exactly. Hulk versus Zombie Wonder seems really cool fighting concept. Chadwick Boseman did a really good job voice acting for the show, but you can't leave it on Zombie Thanos. I think this might be my favorite episode overall.
What?
Really? That's cool.
Interesting.
I mean, your opinions are all wrong. That's
Yeah.
why we get you guys to write in so we can berate you on how wrong you are.
All I'm saying is, we have the mic. It doesn't matter how good your point is.
Exactly.
But totally disagree. However, in like the best way possible. Not like I disagree, you're wrong, but like I can't. I just find that so interesting that you love this episode so much.
Yeah.
For me, I think the Strange episode is by far the best.
It's really cool.
By far the best. So good.
Yeah.
And it had everything. Do you know what it is for me? I think the T'Challa episode and the Strange episode are perfect examples of what not to do and what you should do. And it's not that I don't love T'Challa, and I think him as Star-Lord is a great concept, but like the Strange one, the whole episode is filled with him failing and failing and failing his way forward, falling forward towards a goal, and ultimately consuming himself in this thing and turning bad.
Yeah.
But the point is that he struggles and has a mountain to climb, right? And we get character development. Even both of the Stranges, there was character development, right? Like it was almost a what if inside a what if.
Yeah.
Like what if one Strange did do the thing? What if one Strange didn't do the thing? You know. And the T'Challa episode, he just wins at everything, you know. And there was no mountain to climb. No, even when they like lose, it was all part of the plan, like Ocean's 11 or whatever.
Yeah.
And this is the same kind of way. It followed more of that T'Challa thing. In that, although they're failing, they're not climbing up a mountain. They're just falling down the hill. They're just getting whittled away.
I agree.
With which I'm okay with people getting whittled away. That can work, but we need to then have more emphasis on the dynamic getting stronger and stronger between who's left and why they're doing what they're doing and what the plan is, and maybe some hope on the horizon, or with the zombie Thanos and like horror on the horizon.
Yeah.
And there just wasn't that.
Nope. Nope.
Oh, for frick's sake, why did you give me this? Is it OJ40? OJ40 117.
OJ40. There you go.
I want to say it's a Master Chief reference.
Yeah.
117. Yeah, 'cause it's
117
Spartan
is.
117,
I've
yeah.
seen it on his armor. I don't know what it fucking.
Could you really see it? Because when I was watching it, it was still in the OG.
Not on that
graphics.
one. I've seen it in the Halo Infinite screenshots.
Yeah. He's John 117, Spartan 117.
Right.
Freaking dope.
Master Chef, yes.
Master Chef. Thought it was a really good episode. Interesting. Thought it was a really good episode, but nothing can top the Doctor Strange one. Totally agree there. I liked how Peter mentioned Uncle Ben, so now we know he actually existed in the MCU. Yes, I do think a lot of people are going to miss that because they see Spider-Man and they go, well, Uncle Ben, of course, but
he's not been in this.
He's never been in the MCU. He's never been mentioned. So it's very cool.
MCU.
Right. Very cool.
Very cool right there. Do you want to read the next one?
Yeah, I'll take Mario. Mario says...
The cunt Mario 5380.
That is what his name is.
That's his official name right there.
I enjoyed this episode, but also have some issues with it. Mainly the lack of care for the non-zombie from the non-zombie characters. A zombie apocalypse is happening. Basically, everyone is dead, and they just crack jokes and act as if nothing's happening. For example, Bruce doesn't care that Tony turned into a zombie, or that his head got cut off and eaten in front of him. When Happy dies, the only person who cares or even acknowledges it was Pete. When Bucky was fighting Cap, he doesn't show any sort of emotion aside from guess this is the end of the line, which was cool, but mate, that was your best friend. And also, the way he just grabs Sharon's face and throws her to the ground just really annoyed me. All the characters felt soulless in this.
Yep.
Apart from Pete and Hope, everyone was just, I don't know, disconnected.
I think it's a byproduct of these shows being just so short.
Yeah.
They have to try and tell a whole story, but they end up not
But the
telling
Doctor
a story.
Strange one did it. There's a bigger cast in this, I get.
I was going to say, because all it is really is him and focusing on him wanting to be with the woman that he loves. And that's it.
That is easier, but I feel like they could have just showed some of the lines, changed some facial expressions when people get killed. Like Bucky's line when she kills Falcon, like, is a summary for how I felt about these characters. Just cold and there's nothing there.
It's like, I should care, but I don't.
Thanks, Buck.
There we go.
Then there's also the fact that Hope went inside Sharon, then killed her and played it off saying, "Ooh, I'm covered in Sharon." Like, what the fuck, bro? Yeah, I agree. Like,
Did you get consent? Jesus
also,
Christ.
like, the way she said it as well, she could have been like, "Oh, this is gross. That's so gross."
Yeah.
Or like, "Oh no, Sharon," or something like that. Instead, she's like, "Ew, I'm covered in Sharon." Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It was strange. Then they somehow do care when Hope died from the virus. It's just not consistent. What I like about the episode, what I do like about the episode is the setting. It was a really cool scenario, and I hope they'll explore it further in this season or the next. Another big highlight was Peter, probably because he's the only one who still shows some emotion in the show. The Vision twist was cool, and seeing Zombie Thanos at the end was sick. I did enjoy the episode, but these issues really brought it down for me. The animation, however, seems to get better each episode. Hopefully that will continue to do so. Yeah, like, I didn't have a bad time watching this.
Yeah, it's not the end of the world. Like, it was just like,
Right.
these could have been so much better.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Still there.
The worst thing about the episode is knowing how good it could have been, clearly from what they had,
Yeah.
and how it just wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see he changed his name, by the way?
Yes.
The fake Star Wars fan, yes. That's,
Who's also a cunt.
Yes, exactly. So, Mario, thank you, the fake Star Wars fan. We would thank you for writing in. Alpha Aquelele wrote in and he said, "Get ready for another."
Consciousness stream. Another bro who, by the way, I want to say, we love it. It's cool to see
Yeah.
guys' thoughts as they have them.
And it's unique. It's just totally thing.
It's so good. The only downside is both of us have, I think if we rubbed our IQs together, we'd probably get an erection before the IQ went up. You know? Like, we're talking maybe double digits here, you know? And reading for us, not the easiest thing. Then you put a camera in the equation, like, so that's why the consciousness stream is something that's difficult, but I love it to bits.
And also, it's your consciousness
Yes.
stream, which we're not in it, so we don't get it, right? Anyway, I'll try to do my best. Okay. At long last, the zombie episode. I wonder how they'll set this up. Now I kind of want to see Hulk as the zombie.
that would have been the end of the road right there.
End of the road right there. Definitely getting a Planet of the Apes vibe at the start, but with zombies. Oh, okay. It's just a quantum virus. It's
Just the quantum virus.
run of the
Just get
mill.
some quantum antibiotics, bro.
Exactly. It's run of the mill, bro. It's a virus. Antibiotics don't work. We learned that in school.
It was
Come
for
on
the
now.
camera, man. Like, as soon as I said it, I was like, I know he's going to pick up on it. But, like, of course it's a bit for the camera.
Why did we get a degree in this and not use it if we're not even going to use it for the show? Come on now.
Wait. Hold on a minute. Your beef is that I misused the degree that I haven't used in my professional life
Yes.
for 10 years.
And that you misused it here.
That I misuse it here on the YouTube.
That's my beef.
Well, fair enough.
There you go.
Fair dues.
Why does Spidey look more like Andrew Garfield than Tom Holland? Love how the cape gets more time to shine now. It's Hope again. Of course, Hope. Sorry, did you want to say something there?
I feel like the cape had sort of the best show of all the characters. It showed the most soul and caring out of anyone, other than Pete and Hope.
Cape was pretty good.
Cape was sick.
Hope, you should probably shrink back down before going to sleep and zombifying. That's fine, I guess. I guess the zombie could still change sizes anyway. Plus, it might take longer to zombify with a bigger size. That's a good point. There's good thinking there.
Yeah.
I mean, it was taking long for her anyway.
That was inconsistent,
yeah.
but yeah.
Wait, they're actually continuing to call Vision the Vision?
I hated that.
I thought that was just the WandaVision douche thing. Yeah. Black Panther just repeated his line from maybe Civil War, but it's great. We love it. We love it. Yeah, I wanted to see Zombie Thanos. Nice little bit at the end there. There we go.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, to be clear, when I said it's good, that was a good summary of the episode.
Yeah. Yeah.
Diogbro says, "Wow, that ending was so anticlimactic. Why was Thanos even in Wakanda? He wasn't in Wakanda. He was in New York. You freaking idiot."
That's the thing. So I assumed it was Wakanda as well at the time because they said we're heading to Wakanda and then he's there. The next scene is that's what he's doing. But the thing is that he doesn't need to be in Wakanda. It could just be he's landed in New York now, and that's what
Because that's where aliens land.
And what we saw was a silhouette of like some buildings in the background, We just don't know where the fuck
I
he
assume
was.
New York, to be honest.
I think they were just like, oh, people are going to be super impressed by Thanos being a zombie and not worry about where he is. There you go.
Why was Thanos even in Wakanda if the only reason he went there in Infinity War was to get the Soul Stone? Huh.
Good point. Good point.
You're still a stupid cunt.
Yeah, you're still a stupid
Do you know
cunt.
what?
You're
I'll
still
say?
Diogo.
I feel like it makes sense for him to be in New York because that's where he send his first people to like get a report, see what's happening.
Yeah.
But then, then I totally agree. It wouldn't make sense for him to be anywhere else.
Yeah.
Also, how did he get the Infinity Stone? The Soul Stone?
Good
Because
point.
he needed only one more stone.
Is he
And when
already-
did he get the Time Stone? How did he get all these freaking stones? I
Wait.
guess if you're Zombie Strange, it's probably on his corpse. That's
Yeah.
why he's in New York.
He just picked up the time stone, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
There you go. There you
Anyway,
go.
good thing Strange didn't think to turn back time.
No,
and
no,
stop
no.
the zombies.
Doesn't need to.
Anyway, I found that a lot of the cast sounded kind of bad, or at the very least, not like themselves. Wasn't a fan of this Peter's voice or how he acted, but it's hilarious to me that the MCU's first mention of Uncle Ben is in a multiverse story. That is funny. I didn't think about it being a multiverse thing.
Yeah.
Vision being bad, doing very bad Vision things was cool, but outside of that, fine. It's not going near the bottom of the list. Fine, but it is going near the bottom of the list for me, which is annoying because I was looking forward to this episode.
We all were.
This was the one I was like, Zombie Cap. How do you frickin' beat that?
I think everyone was, don't get me wrong, Captain America, one of the greatest characters in the MCU. And I think people were just really allured by it's Cap and it's zombified.
Right.
Ooh, this is going to be super awesome. Then it just turned out to be nothing.
Because also one of the things is like, how do you even... If it was Cap in The Walking Dead, no worries. Right, so how are you even gonna get in a position where Cap can turn into a zombie and then little Hank, Pym,
Yeah.
which I thought was, one, very smart and two, hilarious.
Yeah.
There's one final comment.
From the fake Star Wars fan himself responding to Diogo, and he says, I assume Thanos was in Wakanda because it's the only place left on Earth with non-human zombies.
Non-zombie humans.
Non-zombie humans. That didn't make sense what I said.
See,
Non-human zombies? They're humans.
it's just zombie animals. Isn't it? It's just a zombie wildlife tour.
It's a safari park.
Zombie lions, but they're munching themselves, not the gazelles.
So dumb sometimes.
So again, I think he's in New York because there'd be two stones in New York at that point.
yeah,
right?
yeah.
No, they're definitely the time stone.
I think he was going for. I think that's where he gets the time
Yeah.
stone. I think that's
That
what,
would make
what one is
sense.
right there. Because in the timeline, that's how they go. That's how they get the time stone, right? Well, that's what
Yeah.
they're going for. The mercenaries land so they can get
Yeah.
Doctor Strange's time stone. And
I think that
so
would
I'm
make
guessing
sense
that's
for
where
him
they
to land, find Strange's remains and take the stone,
go. Yeah.
and then somehow get zombified.
I don't understand why the new Sorcerer Supreme didn't take the time stone with him. The cape.
Right. It's a good, that's a solid point.
He was guarding the scrotum.
At every turn, this episode falls down.
Falls apart, mate. This episode is just awful. Anyway, guys, thank you all for joining us for another episode of What If Review on Streamcast.
Yes.
We'll catch you guys all in the next episode next week with episode 6. And we'll see you there, boys.
See you next time.
there. Zombie virus, we can't do that. Do we wash
So
hands
this is the thing.
for
A
2
quick
happy
question.
birthdays?
Yeah, that's right. 2 happy birthdays, social distance, wear a mask. When are they coming out with the vaccine?
Wait a minute, when
Send
they
2
come-
jabs, don't forget. So, Hope's mum, how did she get it? Because
Apparently,
nothing can bite her down there.
yeah, the Watcher just says she contracted a quantum virus. And I'm
Right.
like, how?
Right, because
We didn't get that bit.
there's nothing like alive down there.
Yeah.
So is it like airborne? But then if it's airborne, then you don't need the zombie biting thing, and that's maybe how. Like I feel like Thanos was as tough as the Hulk, right?
Yeah.
So if Hulk can stop being bitten by being that tough, what got Thanos? Was it airborne? I don't know, man. A lot of questions.
I don't know. Maybe he got peckish on one of the corpses and was like,
Oh, he's munching a corpse.
No.
He's like, oh, that guy with the hammer. I've always wanted to munch this dude's biceps.
Because it's true. The only thing that we know that Thanos eats is those vegetables in his garden in Endgame. But
Oh,
maybe
yeah.
he does like a bit of meat every now and again.
That's
but
right.
it's like, ooh.
He's one of those vegans that like
when they get drunk, they eat bacon sarnie.
That's it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
They're like,
yeah.
I'm a vegan. Then when they get
Oh,
drunk, they're like,
that's why Thanos is the bad guy. Vegan.
vegan. That's it. That's
There
where we
go.
figured
It
it
all
out,
makes
guys.
so much more sense now. He's just angry because he hasn't had a steak in a while.
Never trust a vegan, guys. Never trust a vegan. All right, guys. We'll catch you
Catch
on the
you
next one.
one.